Sweet, fresh corn. I held a bag of corn in my arms as back home. Chicken noodle soup, my kid's favorite. My name is Kathy, 46 years old. My husband is Henry. My son, Tim, is in high school. And my daughter, Meg, is a sophomore in high school. I'm an ordinary housewife. I bought a couple pounds of sweet CC sale at the neighborhood grocer. I arrived home in a good mood. Sweet corn, carrots, celery. My broth was the best. I also added broccoli. My kids love my soup. I deeply inhaled the aroma as I waited for my family to come back.
Smell of chicken broth.
My son got back first.
Chicken noodle soup tonight.
You guessed it right.
I've been having it for a long time. Did you put more chicken meat in? No.
Of course.
And then my daughter returned.
Yay! Chicken noodle soup smells
Doesn't it?
perfect for this cold weather.
See, my soup was popular. It was my husband's turn to come back. He was taking a long time to answer.
Shall we eat first?
We decided to go ahead. It was close to 11 when he finally.
Why? I thought today was over.
I asked him. His office mandated leaving on time Wednesdays.
Yeah, but I had something to do.
He courtly replied, maybe had a bad day at work. Chicken noodle soup was the best calm to blow the bad mood away.
I see. Well, have some dinner. Tonight it's chicken soup.
On the contrary to my cheerful mood, sighed and
I've already eaten outside.
Huh. Really?
I was disappointed.
2 pounds of fat, round steak on sale today. I thought they would be tasty in the...
Fat round, that's like you.
What?
I froze to the remark I had never heard before. He sighed as he took his time off and disappeared into the bathroom. I was left alone with a pot of soup dining room. Since the incident, his attitude towards me has become colder. He didn't come home until past 9 night and went out to somewhere else on... When I asked him where he was going, said nowhere particular. If I press him, what do you mean, asked? No point in telling you, he replied. Lame. One Sunday evening when I was feeling gloomy, my daughter came back from her part-time job. As soon as she opened the front door, she knew something was wrong.
Listen, Mom,
She yelled in rage. I didn't even have a chance to react.
I saw Dad hanging out with Anna at today.
She said, trembling.
Anna?
I froze. She was my friend from college. She sometimes came over to play with my daughter. She was a little flamboyant lady who didn't look her age.
No way.
I guess he's cheating because they are holding hands. They don't care if they got caught. That Starbucks is just across the road from my work. It's like they want me to find out.
My son heard a commotion and came downstairs.
I suspected he was cheating too. He's been staring at his phone, smiling. Mom, you're too oblivious.
3 of us decided to go to the boat, and we waited for him to come home. And then he came back at night. As soon as he walked into the living room, she threw a question at him.
What were you doing with Anna?
He didn't even bother to make an ex said we had a date. According to him, the first time he saw her was on his way back home. They decided to grab a drink together. As they hung out, he fell in love.
I'm lonely. I'm tired of being single.
She flirted, and they spent the night together. Soon they got deeply involved. I was stunned because...
Why? We've been good together for years.
Because of those 20 years.
He replied.
You aged and became fat in those years. I can't see you as a woman. I've been thinking about you since I got your letter, Anna. That I want to be in love all the time. Want to stay young, eat healthy, exercise regularly, get enough sleep. and avoid stress as much as possible.
What do you mean by, huh?
My mind went blank. Certainly, Anna was a beautiful saint. I, on the other hand,
We've been supporting each other as family.
I squeezed my voice out.
In the meantime, we became used to each other. I'm not in love with you anymore.
As I weakly sat there, my husband, I understand that. He wanted to divorce me because there was no passion. But I couldn't just say okay to him. We had a son, a daughter in highest. It hurt to imagine them losing a fat. I considered all the things that he had said to dissuade me from divorcing him. The best and anyone might have thought was to have his parents speak to him. So I went to their house. However, when I told them about the situation, their replies were not as considered hoped for. Firstly, my father-in-law said,
They say it's a man's ability to their wife. It's a good thing that he still got age.
My mother-in-law also
It's your fault that he cheats,
started saying nonsense.
or maybe you don't clean toilet.
I couldn't listen to her.
I do all that.
I cut her off with a shout.
I'm not sure,
She snickered.
and to prove it, do you maintain that my son is not ashamed to walk around in public?
My father-in-law, too.
Your stomach is hanging out of your.
Edit. And laughed. When I got home in low spirit, Henry already there.
Hey, you went to see my parents today, didn't you? I got a text saying that they told your fault that I'm cheating.
What?
They wasted no time.
But our family has been blessed with a lot of good fortune.
Before I could complete my sentence, I didn't want my parents to know about this, he coldly said. And then, I guess we'll have to get a divorce, they know. He just couldn't wait to leave his. It didn't matter how it happened. He just wanted to start his new life, Anna. I could only say,
I'll mediate and sign.
I hired a lawyer in the end. I, for sure, wanted to get a child as I got the full custody. I figured I should get a lawyer, even if it cost me a lot. I assumed that I could get alimony. Adultery was involved. My son said,
Bottom line, he left us, right?
don't let it distress you.
My daughter, too, you still got us cheerfully.
Both of them assured me by saying, forget about the self-centered jerk who's chasing after his forgotten youth over his family. Especially my daughter, who was at sensitive age, was outraged by their blatant act of showing off on a date. I begged my neighbor's grocer for a job. I started working part-time. For the time being, I had to send my college. Well, a few months passed. Our life has been good. The owner of the grocery store where I worked offered me to take home any leftover vegetables. It helped us financially, and I was for the job. Both of my kids were almost adults. Was no particular change in our life. I was very relieved by the outcome. I kept myself busy with the kids-related matters and my own work. In the midst of all this, I got a call from Henry.
Hey, I-11, come over so can we have.
I thought there was nothing to talk my side, but my kids behind me said, Mommy, why are you crying?
It's all right, isn't it? We got Sunset as well.
Hence, we accepted his request. Henry came over on weekend.
I brought some buffalo wings for tea and cinnamon for Meg.
He produced the treats to the kids.
Thank you.
I tonelessly offered, as the same way as he said, I want my parents to know that day. I asked.
And what do you want?
He immediately replied.
It was my fault. Please let me come.
He pleaded.
What?
After all that, he left by choice, and now he wants to come back by choice. The kids and I stared at him with pea eyes. He explained that Anna had a different financial value after they started living together. She was a beautiful woman indeed. While having champagne, looking at the illuminated cityscape. Henry told Anna.
It's nice to be in love. I do for her.
Anna told him that she was tired of. So he told her, "You can quit working. I used to support 2 kids and a wife. It's easy for me to support you alone." She quit her job. But then, you know what? It was very obvious to us women that it was ostentatious. No surprise that she wore designer and cosmetics. Besides, her nice body was a result working out at the gym. She even had a personal trainer on. Anna worked in a night entertainment that paid her a lot of money. That was how she was able to manage luxuries. Without her working, there was no way his salary alone could cover her spending. Anna grew frustrated because she couldn't afford the luxuries she was used to, and exploited him to make more money. On the contrary, he was a homebody money.
Don't go to the gym. Let's spend some quality time together at home.
They had a big argument about differences in values. To top it all off, he had never tasted a home-cooked meal of hers.
Of course, she won't eat an ordinal soup. At the least, takeout from a firstal restaurant, or keto diet for her body shape maintenance.
Without knowing his new partner's vat, he easily threw away his family for love. He was an idiot. And when it didn't work out, he wanted to take him back.
We had been together ever since you was minimum wage, hadn't we? Do you have any idea how frugal I had to feed 2 kids? Don't take my effort for granted.
I scorned him with all my might. Our kids nodded their heads. In agree, they took a sip of the soda. Tim began speaking with a serious look on his face.
Even though I didn't get to go to World, it was fun enough to have a picnic of fried chicken. Dad, you are like Barracuda. You're attracted to a shiny thing, but then you wish to go back to the one you're caught in the net. You left your little happy family for someone else, and now you want to come back because it didn't work out. You think the little happy family accept such a misguided person? Enough with you condescending our one happiness.
His speech was quite harsh.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I regret that I went for a new ship. I'm really sorry. Family is the most important thing, right? Henry barely managed to say this as shifted his eyes. Family is the most important thing? What does a man who throws his family away so easily mean by that? My kids and I looked at him with an icy stare. He didn't even notice and started even more nonsense.
You know, if I wanted you to understand, I thought it would be better to have your parents talk to you. So I went to them.
He sounded proud of what he did. At that moment, both Tim and Meg spit soda. Tim was choking on it.
You went to tell my parents your story?
I was astounded that I couldn't continue.
You used to do the same before we got married.
Wait, that we're totally not.
I tried to argue, but then I decided to let it go.
Your dad said, it's a man's fault if he's irresponsible.
I have nothing to say to the man who has a precious daughter and 2 grandchildren. He didn't want to talk. Wait a minute. Henry, who are you to determine good values? You have a strange value to begin, W. My phone beeped as I was thinking. It was a text from my dad. Your ex-husband came over here today. He creeps me out. Please don't let hear again. I burst out laughing and showed it.
You know, I loved Grandpa.
Tim tonelessly said at once.
I didn't want Grandpa to know about it.
Said tonelessly.
I don't understand how such a pathetic person can be a father.
I can't comprehend his thoughts or his behavior. Mom, you have no choice but cuddle him. Tim bellowed, as if he was venting a resentment. I didn't want my parents to know, no, but to divorce. What Henry said to me came back to boomerang.
After all, you made the decision to us. Just because you changed your mind we naively take you back?
said I.
You said you no longer had any love, but you also lost love for your family.
Said Tim.
The form of love changes over the.
When I was little, I simply loved my. Now it's thank you, Mom, for every. What do you mean by you want to be like 20 years ago? Go and watch Back to the Future.
Said Meg. Henry couldn't say anything. Then Tim put the final nail in the.
I actually got into color through a scholarship.
Henry's eyes were wide open.
Shut up. You're not worth my time. If I'm asked about my family, I'd say had a father. I don't want a father who doesn't love a family.
Meg followed.
I won't even invite you to my wedding.
I don't want to walk down the aisle with an arm. Go back to your shiny money spender.
Wait. I don't expect you to forgive me now.
He kept trying to make incomprehensible arguments, but she wouldn't budge. Take your buffalo wings, Cinnamon, and get out. The three of us kicked him out of the house. Afterwards, he quit his job at Depot. He is working part-time as a janitor at a gym. Buying and selling fake brand goods on the internet is a serious crime. Buying and selling fake brand goods on the internet is a serious crime. According to a classmate of mine, Anna is back to her old job because she had quit the gym. She gained too much weight to the point that she can't wear her old dresses. My friend, who works part-time as a dressmaker, has seen Anna bringing in tight dress, asking for sizzup alteration. It's laughable.
Sweet, fresh corn. Free. Take it.
Chicken noodle soup tonight. I'm offered a full-time position at a grocer. I've been teaching customers how to distinguish fresh produce, which is well received by them and is appreciated by the owner. Eventually, Henry divorced Anna.
You got no money. How can you live that?
She cursed him that he couldn't take any more. He had never done any housework before, so he was incapable of living alone. The apartment he lives in is supposed to be a dump site. He was still sending me texts like, clean my place, please cook for me, I want to eat with my kids, and looking for a chance to get back in the game completely blocked him.
I'm leaving.
Today is Tim's graduation day. He looked all grown up, dressed in
Have a good day.
I teared up. He opened the door and turned around.
Mom, thank you for everything. Love you.
As soon as the door closed, I burst into tears that I had been trying to hold back. Congratulations on your graduation. Meg tapped on my shoulder.
Let's get ready. Let's go join him on his big day.
Right.
With the bright early summer light, Meg, I began to put on my dress.